so went and bought this Orbital jigsaw. Now I have a jigsaw, but I wanted another one. I want the Bauer jigsaw to be a jigsaw. And I want this for a custom use I have. But how does it compare as a jigsaw? Well, not really that much different, to be honest with you. Orbital jigsaw items 62422, 0 to 3000 strokes per minute, 5 amp. Max capacity 2 1/4 inch wood. Okay, so it comes with a plastic cover to help protect the wood from anything the steel might hit. It's kind of nice. Also would make it glide a little better on some surfaces. It has a wheel here that goes from 1 to 6, and that is to select speed. And it uses T-shank blades. Everything is moving to T-shank blades. If you have an existing jigsaw, you can still get blades for the old type, but these are supposed to be better. They don't require tightening, and supposedly they hold in better. It does have an edge guide. I'm not sure how much I would personally use that, but options. It's always nice to have options. They give you 2 little knobs to hold this on. They're a little awkward to get on and off because there's not a lot of clearance. Okay, so let's get this in. It has a ruler, 0 to 7. I would use that for rough measurements only, as you might imagine. Now, I set it up to be like this. You could just as easily loosen these, pull it out, and put it in this side. So you can run it off either side of the piece of wood. Now it tilts to 45 degrees. And this is how you adjust it. Loosen that screw and it moves up and back and also side to side. Now, in my opinion, a side to side's a little imprecise. I don't like loosening a screw that lets it slide this way and this way. See, it's not a very smooth movement. Wow. I don't like that. I want to center the blade in this opening. Ideally, when I'm cutting, I want this at 90 degrees to the blade. Well, by having to use a wrench, I've got to hold it up in the air, make my adjustment, tighten it up. Well, holding it up in the air isn't really great for getting accuracy. If it had a smoother movement and it had a detent that at least got you really, really close to 90, that would be much better. Comes with a dust collection adapter, and it's got little keys that go in these 2 little slots. Line them up, slide it in, turn it, it's locked. But I'm still looking for that universal size on these. You have to make adapters for most of what I work on. This is off the old smallest dust collector that Harbor Freight sold, and it is not the right size, so it has to have an adapter. So what I would do is make an adapter, leave it on there permanently. Most of the time I don't want to use this tool without dust collection, but if I put an adapter on there that's about that long, I can take this off, leave the adapter on there, and if I don't want to use dust collection, it really doesn't get in the way that much. Okay, so I have a heat gun. I have a water bottle. I'm wanting to try a water bottle for this because so many of them. I normally use a Diet Mountain Dew bottle, but I buy it in cans more than bottles. So let's give it a shot. So it looks like it's too big, but I'm hoping as thin as this is, it will shrink a lot. I have the Drill Master and the Warrior, and they're the same gun, by the way. So having two actually works out. Okay, so I shrunk this end. I've got it up over the tool itself, and I'm hoping that'll help hold it on, although this is bigger than this, so might not. The key is to shrink this without burning it and burning a hole in it. This water bottle is textured, and I think that the texture is not good for it. I got all kinds of lumps and bumps. I don't have a good seal, so maybe a water bottle isn't perfect. Now I've got to get this in here, shrink it some more. Okay, so there we go. I'm not overly thrilled with that, but it works. And I did this to get the size. The hose is hooked up somewhere else right now. Okay, so I can get this out, and I can get the hose nozzle also in there. So overall it was a success, but I think that plastic is just too thin, even with all the shrinkage. Like I said, overall it's a success, but probably wouldn't use that thin water bottle plastic again. Which is a bummer, because I tend to end up with a lot of those. Now, one other thing I don't like is the bottle is only so tall. I would have liked this to have been maybe a ½ inch longer. I'm not sure that has a big relevance, but I still would have liked that to have been a ½ inch longer. Now that I put that on there and decided to keep it on that end, I'm even less happy with it, because I have to put it off of this if I want to stand it up straight. We already know I have to stand it up straight to adjust this or get a blade in. So slide that in, and there is slots to go in. There's a lock here you have to lift up, and you got to put this in so it stays. Then that has to lock, and that isn't locking. There, I pushed up on it and it locked. You take this little lock and you turn it 90 degrees and it unlocks it, and then you turn it back 90 degrees and it locks it. The bower was extremely difficult. This one wasn't so bad. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Most of the dust stayed here. Now, square on this is a relative thing. There is a lot of flex in these blades. You could force it off square as you cut. I loosened up the bolt and it's on square now. Let's see if that is still square. I'm a little apprehensive using that rubber coated steel as a reference, but that looks more square. Okay, so that says it's square now. So if I don't get any blade flex, I'll be okay. Now, that's another issue. The more you let the saw do the work and don't force it, the less blade flex you'll get. Okay, so pretty happy with that overall. 3,000 strokes per minute is pretty fast. It cut that relatively fast. That's pine though, so maybe you wouldn't do as good on something else. And that's an awful thick board for a jigsaw. Typically you're not cutting really thick boards with a jigsaw. there's better tools for that. That just happened to be laying on top of the scrap pile. Okay, so we have a guide. We have T-shank blades. This one is easier to use than the Bauer in terms of getting the blade in and out. 0 to 6. I'm not sure what I'd use 0 for, but it's there. I found a way to get the blade square. It has this horrible adjustment for degrees. We have a shop-made hose adapter for dust collection. And ergonomics, it feels good in your hand. When it says Orbital, it's the type of stroke that it takes. So it has a lever for this. This is 0, which is normal. And then we have small, medium, and large. Okay, when I made the cut, it was on 0, which is straight line cutting. Now, if you do the first one, it's a small orbit for metal, and then that's like a medium, and then that's a larger orbit for plywood, things like that. I don't know that that would help me on that really thick board. Chicago Electric has put a lot of time and effort into ergonomics over the last, I'll say, year or two, maybe 3. They've redesigned their tools to be more comfortable to use. So I'm going to recommend this. I think it's okay. I don't like these fences, but I don't like them on any tool. Don't like them on this one. So I think this is a good tool. I think it's usable. I think I got this for about $35. It's been a while since I bought it. Okay, so if you like the videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.